That's UFC champ Conor McGregor getting hammered by Chris Van Heerden, who's a solid pro boxer, but he's not super elite, and he's certainly not Floyd Mayweather. And now we all know that McGregor is set to challenge Mayweather August 26th in a boxing match that will make two very wealthy men even richer. We know Mayweather's resume is 49-0 with countless world titles and the biggest paydays the sport has ever seen, while McGregor is a UFC star who has never boxed professionally. He's devoted the last few months to the sweet science, but let's be real, he could be 20 times better than he was against Van Heerden and still lose to the top 20 boxers in the weight class of his choosing. So if this fight devolves into a one-sided sparring session, don't be surprised, don't demand your money back. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm advising you right now that this bout is less a fight than a reality TV spectacle assuming pugilism's form. Both principals understand that. Mayweather is the richest boxer in history because midway through his career he turned heel, then watched the money pile up as fans paid to see a series of heroes step up to give him the beating karma seemed to owe him. Now at 40, he's discovered that the only matchup more lucrative than hero versus villain is heel against heel. Enter Conor McGregor. Now, 2 years ago, Mayweather made $200 million for his win over Manny Pacquiao, in a bout that broke records for revenue both at the box office and on pay-per-view. This time around, insane prices are squeezing ticket sales, but promoters still hope pay-per-view buys can reach an all-time high. Factor in fans watching in cinemas, and we could have the biggest audience ever for a prize fight. All to see a man who went to jail for beating up his ex-girlfriend face a guy who race-baited his way through a 4-city promotional tour, where the trash talk ranged from casually sexist to nakedly homophobic. Mayweather called McGregor the same anti-gay slur that got Kevin Pillar in trouble, plus a synonym for prostitute that rhymes with Joe.
Yeah! Dance for me, boy!
McGregor repeatedly called Mayweather boy, and when advised of that word's racial baggage, he repeated it, to huge cheers from his fans, even here in Toronto. The next night in New York, McGregor told the crowd he can't be racist because he's black from the belly button down. After the tour, McGregor posted photos of himself in a CJ Watson jersey, Watson being the NBA player whose text messages to Mayweather's ex preceded the beating that landed the boxer in jail. News reports called it trolling, but here's a better description: trivializing domestic violence for profit, and it's where we are. Racism, homophobia, spousal abuse, all reduced to tools employed to help market a mismatch of a fight. It's ugly and it's cynical, but it's lucrative, and we are all complicit because fans are gonna buy this fight and we in the mainstream media are covering it because of the accompanying circus, not in spite of it. If this were only about sport, casual fans and the mainstream press would have paid more attention to Andre Ward's 2 wins over Sergey Kovalev or the upcoming showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. Those are the kind of fights that fans and sports media say we want. High-stakes bouts contested at a high skill level between fighters unafraid to risk losing. But the fight we'll pay for? That's the one between 2 men who have mastered grandstanding to attract attention, even if one is a Hall of Fame boxer and the other is in his pro debut. The pay-per-view will retail for around $100, but fans will find the money even if the main event turns into a dull boxing lesson. Mainstream media outlets will find the money to cover it, even if it means skipping fights with more sporting merit. And Mayweather and McGregor? Yeah, they'll find the money too, our money, piling up in their bank accounts for years after this is over. Why? Because they know what the public will buy, and they weren't ashamed to use racism and sexism to sell it. For the Toronto Star, this is Morgan Campbell.